Whoa, Courtland Sutton.
I'm not even
Yeah,
a Courtland Sutton hater. I
he's
just
on my fantasy team.
and did he win you your league?
He was benched.
We're both wearing Falcons gear, so I'm sure Patriots fans will take very kindly to what we have to say.
Have good mosh pitting.
All right, welcome in. Have good sporting, episode 70. We're going to dabble in the NFL space on this beautiful Friday. AFC Championship, NFC Championship. I'm joined by Ed Neubert. Ed, how are you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. I'm excited as well for these games that we have this weekend. It's going to be a good week of football. So yeah, I'll let you, take over and go from there.
All right, let's start with the game that I've sort of convinced myself that a certain team is going to win this game. Maybe it's because I want it to happen, but Broncos taking on the Patriots in Denver. In Denver, Patriots favored by 4.5, over under 42.5. Jarrett Stidham, can he take the boys to the Super Bowl?
This is the age-old question. Obviously, you have the backup quarterback heading into a team that's just going to be a really difficult team to beat. Obviously, we know Mike Vrabel is a solid coach, but I mean, you got Sean Payton over there in Denver, also a solid coach. This Broncos team's been solid at home. They're just really tough to beat in, Denver, and these fans are going to show up, I'm sure. I think a big part of it is going to be just can Jarrett Stidham keep himself from turning the ball over, giving the ball to the Patriots is a big play here. If you play like CJ Stroud and you throw five interceptions, you're not going to be in the Super Bowl.
This could be a situation where you really need Jarrett Stidham to be throwing out of luxury and not necessity. Is J.K. Dobbins back?
I haven't heard that he's officially back, but I know that he was practicing this week, so I
I
think it's
think he's going
possible
to
that
do
we could see him.
everything in his power to play. This could come down to a game. If Jarrett Stidham isn't just the worst quarterback we've ever seen, it could be a game. The Patriots to finish off in the divisional round that when they were just going down, like Ramondre Stevenson was running it for like 8 yards a carry on the last few drives, and it was dominant. And if they're going to do that against the Broncos, it's going to be tough sledding for the Broncos. It is in Denver. If Denver can get the run game going and Jarrett Stidham doesn't have to be a world beater, we might have a game here, but I can't get away from the fact that it's in Denver.
Yeah, and I mean, this is going to be one of those games I think where um, the game is going to be decided before it even gets to third down on a lot of drives. These teams in playoff games, particularly, especially with teams that are defense driven, like the Broncos have been, even when they had Bo Nix, this is a top three defense in the league as far as yards and just points, turnovers, all those stats. They're top three in the league. And it's going to be about moving the ball before you get to third down. Because if you put Jarrett Stidham in a situation where it's a third and 12, third and even 8, you're not going to run the ball there. So you're going to have to go to the air. I think that the way you put it's pretty spot on, which is that you are going to have to use Jarrett Stidham when you absolutely have to. And this is no hate on Jarrett Stidham. It's just he hasn't been in the scheme all year. He doesn't really know, how this offense is running right now. This has been Bo Nix's offense all year. So it's going to be first and second down efficiency, trying to get 4 or 5 yards every first and second down just to try to keep it at a short third or pick up the first down on one or two plays.
I mean, this guy is not, he's not, he's not gonna do great. It's not gonna be like, oh my God, where's this guy been all year? It's not. So I don't, I mean, the Broncos probably, if they win, it's like 16-13.
Likely something along those
And
lines.
the
And
Patriots haven't played like the hardest schedule all year. I mean, a lot of the teams they've played, it's like if you lose that game, you wouldn't be in the conference championship anyway. But they won the divisional round and it was dominant. I don't know, man. It's, it's tough for Patriots fans. This is kind of a lose-lose situation because if you make the Super Bowl, well, you beat Jarrett Stidham to get there. Cool. Shocker. Patriots have an easy route to the Super Bowl. It's like Tom Brady being the GOAT, but he had like top three defenses his whole career. Or if you lose, Patriots were never good. They just lost to Jarrett Stidham. It's you're not the Patriots almost can't win this game. It's a lose-lose.
Yeah, and I think that obviously in the Patriots' mind, right, it's a lesser of two evils situation, right? Would you rather just beat up on a team you're supposed to beat or lose to the team that you're supposed to beat up on? I guess it's almost like it's like getting into a fight with like a little child. It's like you don't really want to beat up the kid, but if you lose to the kid, then you're never going to hear the end of
Really
it.
embarrassing.
So it's like it's just going to be about keeping the ball in your own hands. I mean, this is no hate on Drake May, but he played a really solid defense last week, possibly the best defense in the NFL. And they forced turnovers. They kept CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans offense in the game for as long as possible until they literally just couldn't hold on anymore. I mean, can't win the game with that many turnovers, but they forced Drake May to make some mistakes. And Drake May's a young quarterback. He's good. He's in the MVP conversation, but they forced him to make mistakes. And now heading into another top three defense, this time on the road, you're not even playing in Foxborough. There's a chance that Drake May could make a couple key errors that give Denver good field position and can lead to, six, even 3 points in this game. I think with the defenses being as solid as they are, is just 3 points almost acts as if it's seven.
The problem is the Texans they held Drake May in check for a while, seeing as though they gave up so many turnovers, but still at the end of the game, it was kind of like over the course of four quarters, the Patriots team was just gonna like that's exactly what Mike Vrabel wants, is they just wore the Texans down somehow in the fourth quarter, and the game ended up not being as close as it really was. So, but now it's like, is this Patriots team a team that you can keep in check for four quarters? And the Broncos defense, no slouch in their own right. Texans are the best defense in the league, but CJ Stroud was just kept putting them back on the field, and it wasn't sustainable. The defense was out there for probably like 38 minutes at least. So the Broncos, you have to win this game on the ground and on defense. It's got to be like an old school football bad weather win.
Yeah, and I mean it's going to be cold, it's going to be cold up there in Denver, it's going to be a chilly game and that actually I think partially plays into favor of the Broncos a little bit. I mean, not that I'm saying the Patriots don't know how to play in cold weather. They do. And I'm really trying to come up with reasons because I feel like it's more interesting as to why the Broncos can win this game. I mean, if I'm looking at paper and someone had my life on the line and said bet on one of these two teams to win, I would bet on the Patriots to win this game. But I do think that the Broncos have an ability to hang in there if they can just limit turnovers and be efficient in the red zone. If you get into the red zone, you got to score a touchdown, especially if it comes off a turnover.
The thing with and before this spread came out, right when the Patriots were about to beat the Texans, and the Bo Nix news came out. We were talking about what this spread might be, and both of our guesses were that this game might be a double-digit spread. So I was so perplexed as to why it was 4.5 or 5.5. I think people really want the Broncos, so the money's kind of going a bit towards the Broncos. But I mean, like the Patriots, they are they 14 and they were 14 and 3,
I think 13-4. The Broncos were 14 and
13 and
3.
4, same digits, different order. So I'm so perplexed and it's in Denver, that's a big part of it. But this not even being close to like a touchdown situation is interesting. And I think with the Broncos, I think they are going to keep it close, but losing by 7 and winning by 3 is like worlds different. That is so many points in a game like this, and you can keep it close, and you can be down 3 or 7, but it's going to be a situation where late in this game, Jarrett Stidham has to go down the field and score, and you got to put a little bit of something on his shoulders, even if you got to the fourth quarter without having to do much with him. And he may not be the guy. That's like if you can get out to a
Yeah.
7-0 lead or a 10-3 lead, you got to get into a situation where you can hold on. But if Drake May goes in meticulously down the field on his first drive and scores, the writing might be on the wall.
Yeah, and I just want to say you were right. They were 14-3. I looked it up. So the Broncos and Pats were both 14-3, but Broncos got the one seed, obviously. But anyways, yeah. You know what's weird about that though is that so the line opened at 4.5. I think it went up to 5.5, and now it's back down to 4.5 again. And it's weird because 75% of bets, at least, I don't know about money and sharps and all that, but 75% of actual bets are on the Patriots to cover 4.5.
Whoa. Okay. I mean, I guess that's not surprising. I'm more in the camp of just wanting the underdog to do something. 4.5 so
I mean,
weird. I feel like you see spreads are 2.5, 3.5 if you think it's a field goal game, or 6.5, 7.5 if you think they're going to win by a touchdown. 4.5, 5.5. I don't even know if Vegas has a good read on it. Is
that's the
Vegas going
thing
to
is,
lose when 75% of the money is on one side of it? Like if the Patriots go crush them, in Vegas like should bump it up to 6.5 or back
when
up
the
to five and a
line,
half. Why is 75% of the money on the Patriots and is going back towards the Broncos?
see, that is the exact
Maybe the Broncos are going to win.
that the line moving against the public is always a really strange thing. That's just always how things tend to be. Is like it was similar to last week when the Bills played the Broncos. A lot of money was on the Bills and people were betting on the Bills, but the line was moving in favor of the Broncos, which people were, I always do it every time I see a line that I think is wrong. I'm like, well, they don't know what they're talking about. I do.
Yeah,
And then you
obviously.
and
We
then
know
you
more than
don't.
Vegas. It's a simple truth.
And then you don't. And I think that there's a really big chance that if Stidham can keep his EPA positive, I mean, they could pull the rug out from New England and this could be a crazy Super Bowl.
I don't know how it's going to go, but let's go. Let's get a score prediction and how you think a Jarrett Stidham's going to play prediction.
All right. Well, personally, I do think that the Patriots are still going to win this game. I have this game as probably 23-13. Patriots win this game. And I think that Jarrett Stidham throws 175 yards, no touchdowns, and an interception.
Okay, that feels very Jarrett Stidham-like football.
Yeah, I just
175,
don't
no
think
tuds and a pick.
I
So it's
don't think
not
he's
the
going to
worst
really.
ever, but he just didn't really do much either.
Yeah, it's like, well, I think not going to really throw that many passes. I think Jarrett Stidham throws about 20 passes this game,
He's like 13 for or like 14 for 21.
something like that. Yeah.
I well, I don't know if you created a we're gonna do our we're making parlays at the end. I don't know why this has
Okay.
become a gambling episode, but if we were to hypothetically leave the friendly confines of the state of Georgia borders, I would take the Broncos to win this game.
Wow. All right. I mean, you would have more money than I would, but I would
It's a
take
value play. It's a value play.
you're taking Broncos to win, not even to cover. You're going on the other side of the spectrum. And
I think they're gonna win. I think they're gonna win 16-13.
okay. Yeah, I would take the other
It's
side of the
not. It's
coin.
not even right at all, but that's what I think is gonna happen.
I mean, I would take in this game particularly, I think your best bet here is honestly Patriots to cover. I think that 4.5 is a weird line. I think they'll win by at least a touchdown. I mean, I know I've been saying that Jarrett Stidham can win this game if he doesn't turn the ball over and they rely heavy on the run game and are efficient in early downs, but I don't see that happening.
All right. Now, the next game, which one's at three? Oh,
Uh,
is Rams Seahawks at three?
let's go check. I'll check it out for you. Let's
We
see.
might have done this
Rams
in the
versus.
wrong order. Next game, Rams Seahawks, a
No,
game
no, you're right.
that
Rams Seahawks is 6:30. You're right.
okay, so we got it right. Los Angeles Rams, Seattle Seahawks playing in Seattle in front of the 12th man, a game that is Super Bowl worthy. these might be the two best teams in the NFL, but unfortunately, only one of them can go to the Super Bowl. They split the season series this year. They split the season series over the last 2 years, 1-1 against each other this year, 2-2. And let's pull I mean, I'm not going to get this graphic perfect. I'm going to put it on the screen right now, but I believe this year the Rams have scored 58 points in the series. The Seahawks have scored 57, and it's like 830 yards to 829 or something. And then the last 2 years, it's like 1,599 yards, 1,589 yards, and like still just minor, like very few points ahead. I think the Rams are like 1% ahead in these categories. And this could be as simple as the best two out of three, the third matchup, team playing at home pulls it out. The team that a lot of people think is the best team in the NFL, 2.5 point favorites. Seahawks, Sam Darnold versus Matt Stafford, Puka versus Smith and Jigba. It's unreal. These teams are so similar in every sense. Seahawks defense, though, pretty ruthless. Could be the difference playing at home, 2.5 point spread. Starting to rethink my bet here now that I'm talking it through to myself.
Yeah, I'm totally with you on the Seattle defense is the difference in this game. Both offenses firing. The Rams, I think, have a better offense on the back of the likely MVP Matt Stafford. Puka's a beast. Good run game there with Corum and Kyron Williams. It's just a really solid offense. No sleep on Seattle with JSN. And I mean, Darnold's been playing pretty well. Kenneth Walker ran it really well against the Niners last week. But this Seattle defensive unit is just a suppressive unit. They do not allow anything easy, at least. You have to work for everything you have against this team. And that's been especially the difference late, where they've won, I think, 10 of their last 11. They haven't lost in like 2 months. I was talking about this the other day. And they're just a really hard team to beat. And Seattle's defense just doesn't let the big play happen, which is where the Rams get the edge on you. You go deep to Puka Nacua, he's probably open down there. I don't know if he's going to be open against the Seattle defense.
Rams been putting Puka all over the field. Probably something they're going to try to do again. Puka's a guy that has to touch the ball. And you have the run game against Seattle. Corum and Kyron Williams aren't like I don't I don't know what their longest rushes are this year, but they feel like they're just 4 yards a carry, simple, get your 4 yards when you need it, and then let Matt Stafford cook, play around with Puka a little bit. I just it's tough because when you talk it through, you think the Seahawks have a huge advantage and they're playing at home, but these teams do not like this year. I think there was one like a multiple possession win. But it's like it's an overtime game or it's a 1 point win. It's like one possession wins. These teams, when they play each other, it's good football. It's good football. Rams lost to the Falcons, and the Seahawks might be too much of a test for the third time this year they play. But I don't know who's going to win this game.
This is the game. This is like two different sides of the coin, right? This is like on the Broncos side, you have like this backup QB. It's like a real underdog story. It's like maybe they can. We're trying to find ways that this team can win, right? And with this game, it's not like there's a serious favorite. It's like, okay, well, how can the Rams win? It's
Yeah.
almost like it's like, let me flip a coin and that's who I'll bet on, because it's just the Seattle solid defense versus the Rams probably best offense in the league, which is going to be the side of the ball that's going to be most fun to watch. The Seattle offense is good too, and Rams defense is middle of the pack solid. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Charbonnet
this
out. That hurts. But if this isn't a one possession game, I would be stunned. I would
agreed.
be stunned.
I expect this game to be high scoring. I know that the Seattle defense is really good, but I think that the Rams are going to score at least 20 points against this Seattle team just because of their efficiency and coaching. I mean, that's a big part of this game too. Is McVay has been in LA for so long. He knows how to control the offense and his team. And he's a really good coach, and he'll likely be a Hall of Famer one day.
Third matchup of the year for these two teams. That gives the advantage to who?
Right. Does that give the advantage to the Seahawks because now this defense knows how it works and that's a solid defense? Or does that give it to the offensive genius mind of Sean McVay, who can now lead his team against this
Does he
defense?
have something in the back pocket that he hasn't shown?
Right. Does he
Or does it
have,
give an advantage to like both defenses? Does it give an advantage to both offenses? Time will tell. The over-unders, surely it's higher than the first game. Let's
I'd
see.
expect the over under to be around 50 to 52 points. That would be my guess if I were.
46 and a half.
Oh, it's
Not that
low.
much
Yeah.
higher. So they're thinking this is a, 24-22 ball game ish
Yeah.
is how the math works out there. It could be it could just be a race to who scores three touchdowns or who scores like 24 points first. That might be the situation. I will say Stafford, I've seen him throw it into tight windows. I don't know if that's going to slide. I think Stafford throws a pick here. If it's a crunch time pick, if it's a big pick, if it's a pick six, that's going to put it over the edge. If Stafford plays it safe, if Puka has 10 catches, if Puka has a touchdown, if the Rams offense is what we've seen all year, I think Rams could win. I think this game could go over 46 and a half. I feel better. I feel like I know what I'm going to get from the Seahawks. Rams have had a couple no-shows this year.
There's some question marks around that team for sure. And I expect the over in that game as well. If I were to, just be thinking about some bets that I would see in this game that I would think would be solid bets, I think the over would be one of them. Honestly, wouldn't really want to touch the spread for the exact reason that you said, that I'm just not extremely confident that either of these teams are going to pull away from the other one or cover a specific scenario. But I like a Kenneth Walker touchdown just for the fact that Charbonnet is out and he scored three last week. I think he's running the ball really well right now. And I don't know the exact line on Puka, but if Puka's receiving yards is around somewhere from 70 to 80, I'd probably go over on that as well.
It might be even higher than that. If you like
Yeah.
the Seahawks here, the -2.5 is tough to convince yourself one way or the other. But if the Rams can win, if you like the Rams, I think you just take them to win. And I don't know, maybe someone's doing that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, personally, like I said, I will not be touching the spread on this game. I kind of want to watch this game just to see how it goes. I don't feel confident enough in putting my hard-earned pizza money on either of these teams.
Yeah, and I don't have any money to put on it. And plus, we'd
Right.
have to
So,
drive to North Carolina to put money on it.
right. And there's just no reason to do that.
No, there's no reason to cross borders just to get a little bit of coin.
No, well, really to throw away coin more than anything
Yeah,
else.
it is throwing away coin. All right, well, let's get into our next segment called trash throw away your coin.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna give you guys three leg parlay plus 900. I you can pay your rent with this if you want to. I don't recommend it. Okay, ready? Broncos win. Rams win. Puka touchdown.
Okay. I like it. I'm gonna pull up some of a couple of the things that we haven't looked at here just so I could see what we're looking at. All right. All right. I'm gonna go Patriots -4.5 as my first leg. All right.
Okay.
I would take I'm gonna go with the over. Like I said, the Seahawks Rams game is just a scary one to me. I'm gonna go over on 46.5, and I would take a Kenneth Walker touchdown. That'd be a three leg for me.
Okay. And that is I'm assuming the payout on that's not higher than mine, but it's like that seems like it's just gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm gonna quickly crunch a couple numbers here just to see how much I would make if I threw some money on this here.
Yeah.
So let's go here. Let's go here. and then you know what? This is not going to work.
Whatever.
I'm gonna have to do so
Whatever.
much math. It's probably less than yours because you have the Broncos to win.
Well,
That's really the
you have a spread and an over, which is combined is probably plus 250.
something like that, yeah. And
And
then
then
a
add in
touchdown.
a Kenneth Walker touchdown, which is probably plus 4. It might be around mine. The touchdown helps if you really
Yeah,
think
but you
someone's
have
going
a
to score.
Puka touchdown too. That's the thing. So I feel like mine would probably be about plus 650 would be my guess.
Likely, likely. Um, okay, that's we'll probably get you back on for the Super Bowl. Um, so you're thinking that we're gonna have a Patriots and you don't know Super Bowl?
I would say if I had to, it would be Patriots versus Seahawks, but it could easily be the Rams.
That would be pretty electric. For if we want the most value out of the Super Bowl, you should probably be cheering for the Patriots because the Broncos can win one. I don't know if you can win two in January and February with Stidham.
Who knows? I don't know, man. I mean, honestly, part of me is really hoping that Jarrett Stidham comes out here, throws 3 touchdowns, 280 yards, and no picks. I know that's not going to happen, but that would be a really fun thing if we could see that.
It would be pretty electric. Also, he's not throwing to the greatest crop of receivers in the world.
Whoa, Courtland Sutton.
I know he's a bona fide wide receiver one, but he's only wide receiver one on 12 NFL teams.
Probably. I would say there's probably 18 wide receiver ones who are better than he is. I'd give you that.
I mean, there might be. I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna go too far here. 12, probably 12 teams. I'm not even
Yeah.
a Courtland Sutton hater. I
He's
just,
on my fantasy team.
and did he win you your league?
He was benched. But he was on the
So
team. He's
he's not
got the
even wide
ring.
receiver one on the fantasy team.
No, he's not. And
What was it? So
unfortunately,
he's not wide receiver one or two or any of the two flex spots.
if,
He's
if I'm
he's
remember,
he's
no,
the fifth guy on your team.
if I'm remembering correctly, I don't remember which league I had him in, but I might have dropped him. To be honest with you, I'm not sure.
God. Okay. Um, we could keep talking about NFL football. We could talk about college football, college basketball. Um, we could talk about Florida and Georgia basketball because we disagree profusely on that.
Sure.
Or I could tell you why teams should stop recruiting high school quarterbacks.
I mean, that's fine too. You can do that. I'll listen to you and I'll give my 2 cents after you say it.
Okay. My belief here, well, maybe I clip it, so I really got to start it well. This is why you should never recruit high school quarterbacks, especially 5 stars. And you can recruit them, but you don't want to win and get their commitment and sign them. Because if you go look at the college football playoff or the AP top 25, or now these days who's getting drafted, every single one of these guys transferred. So, like from my perspective, DJ Lagway, 5 star quarterback, he comes in, he's supposed to be the savior of our program, plays 2 years, now he's out, going to Baylor. Fernando Mendoza, transfer. Carson Beck, transfer. Dante Moore, transfer. Ohio State, Julian Sayin, never played a game at Alabama, but he transferred from Alabama. Um, who else was in the top 5? Ole Miss, Trinidad Chambliss, transfer. None of these, Dylan Raiola now, transferred. Houston Longstreet, Sam Levitt, both at LSU, transferred. Who else is good? John Mateer, transferred. Arch Manning stayed home. He stayed home. Good on Arch Manning. The one data point for the other side of this argument. So leads me to believe if you want to get one of these 4 or 5 star quarterbacks out of high school, you have to pay him $1 million now. You have to give him $1 million. If the chances are that, oh God, our free meeting's ending in 10 minutes.
I saw that.
If you if the chances are you lose them and they go somewhere else, then why put $1 million in on a high school quarterback? Like Miami had Cam Ward and Carson Beck in back-to-back years. Now they're going to have probably Darian Mensah, depending on how this whole lawyered up NIL situation goes. They're just going to rinse and repeat senior transfer portal quarterbacks in their last year. And they're going to give them $2 million every year because they've budgeted for a transfer portal quarterback. They don't want a guy to come in and hope he stays for 2 or 3 or 4 years, however long it takes for him to develop into a good quarterback. Because then
Yeah,
no one's going to stay at a school for 2, 3, 4 years.
I agree with you. There's like to a sense, I agree with you. It's like I agree with the fact that you can get a better quarterback for, I mean, not less necessarily, but you don't have to spend a million on a new guy who has to learn the system, right? You have to spend a couple million on a guy who's already played college football for 3, 4 years now. And I agree with that. But I also think that there does come something with a guy who knows the offense, a guy who's been there and waited his time and taken over the role. I think that obviously, guys, I graduated from UJ. Gunnar Stockton did that, right? And this guy is a
Ty
pretty solid
Simpson,
QB.
Arch Manning too. Add a couple
Yeah.
guys into that ring.
Yeah. There's a couple guys in there who've done that. And I think that these are kind of fun quarterbacks because they are like not just transfers. These are guys who are like, yeah, that's that's Arch Manning. I think Arch Manning's going to have a great year this year. I do. I mean, I did think it's going to be a lot better than last year because now he's just coming into form. And I think that he's going to have a great year. And I think that there comes a point where these transfer guys aren't really part of their school. Like there actually was a point, like a talking point that Carson Beck had where some reporter asked him if he had class, and he was like, "I graduated 2 years ago." So
It's a
this is
bit
like a grown
ridiculous to
man.
me.
Yeah, it's
Also, I
kind of
will say
ridiculous.
with Ty Simpson, Gunnar Stockton, Arch Manning. Arch Manning is a Manning. Obviously, he was going to be good financially no matter what. So he probably took less money to stay at Texas and give it to the other guys. Ty Simpson, his dad, football coach, kind of has that, be a backup, earn your role type of mentality. Gunnar Stockton, Georgia kid through and through, never wanted to go anywhere else. But these guys that grow up, if you're not a diehard fan or like your parents aren't coaches and you kind of like maybe you transferred high schools too, or you've moved a lot, so you're kind of numb to like moving around and having a new start. And also it's the most money these kids have ever made. I'll transfer. I'll transfer twice. If I want to make 1 million and then two and then three, you know, and the next school guarantees me a starting spot that I don't currently have, I transfer every time. Which leads me
Yeah,
to my next point. I think we need to reintroduce some punishments for transferring multiple times. I don't know if I think you need to sit
yeah.
out a whole year, but sit out for 6 games, maybe.
I don't really know the exact punishment that I would like to be implemented there, but I do agree that there has to be some kind of system, right? Because these guys can do that. They can just every year be like I actually have done it like in my college football franchise, right? As like a road to glory. I'll play my first year and I'll sit under a backup at Michigan, bang, transfer. Now I'm starting at Northwestern, bang, I'm out again. I've played in four different college teams, and it's like that's ridiculous that is where college football is at now, to where you don't even have to be a student. You can be a full blown adult and you could be
Yeah.
transferring to other colleges and playing for them. And then you get the argument of what's the difference between college football and NFL football. It just feels like they're just getting closer and closer.
The sport has gone wildly off the rails, and it's a serious problem. But, some of the problems with college football have now trickled into college basketball, and this is ridiculous that this even happens, but uh, the Alabama kid that got drafted and played in the NBA, he's back at Alabama playing.
Yeah, saw
What
that.
are we doing here? And like the NCAA, because they can't win a court case to save their lives, has the power to do absolutely nothing. It's terrible. Every
Yeah.
single coach, like my guy, Todd Golden, defending national champion Florida Gators, says this is completely stupid that he's back. We're gonna go kick his ass anyway. But he like cannot believe he's back. You make the decision to enter into the draft and get drafted, and at that point you cannot come back.
Yeah, it's
If you
I mean
miss a
that is like
deadline, you cannot
crossing
come
the
back. And he
threshold.
comes back, no, it's like, okay, all right, yeah, come back. You're an NBA player. We'd love to have you.
Right. I mean, then you get to the argument of like, what can anyone come back? Like, what if LeBron's like, well, I'm going to go get my master's. I'm
Yeah,
going to go
he
play.
hasn't exhausted any of his eligibility.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like ridiculous. It gets to the point of when's the NCAA going to win one of these cases and we're finally going to have a backbone here and you're just not going to be able to do anything you want in college basketball and football.
Yeah, I think like going like Congress could be as dangerous, getting like the federal government involved with legislating college sports. But there's not any entity that anyone has to listen to right now. I mean, the most powerful people are probably the conference commissioners. And I said this earlier, they're more concerned with expanding the playoff than trying to figure out how to keep NBA players out of college basketball or keep extra, like you have revenue share now, it's 20.5 million, but teams spend 40 million on a roster.
Yeah. It's
We got to
like
have someone that can enforce the rules that we have to listen to.
Yeah, there has to be some big not like overlord, but there has to be a power that's like, no, that doesn't work. You can't do that. And right now, there isn't that. And it's like, I think every one of us, as just normal humans, is trying to figure this out the same as the NCAA, where it's like, I mean, can they do that? Like, we're all trying to be like, well, is that allowed? And the NCAA
I'm
is
sure
like,
the
I don't know,
NCAA
maybe.
wants to tell this guy that he can't play, but it's like a local judge, like the court system said it's good, and the NCAA
Yeah.
can't do anything about that. And what I mean, how do you get out of this mess? The worst
I,
part is it's not like we don't know what to do. We're not in that world, but other people are and aren't doing anything. So we just got to ask them to do something, I guess.
It's like one of those things where, as like a fan of football, I just feel like college sports have to be different than professional sports. I think that college players deserve to be paid. Do not get me wrong on that. These guys work for their school and they're bringing in so much revenue for their school. They deserve to get paid. But transferring that many times and now you're going to the NBA or the NFL and then you like weren't playing very well so you're like I'll just go back and do it there. It's like becoming a point where it's just becoming like the same as the NFL and it's supposed to have different rules and there's supposed to be different regulations and contracts are different and both systems are different and now it just feels like college football and basketball is just like almost minor league NFL football or NBA basketball.
It's unfortunate. And we love the sports. It's getting a little out of whack. You just got to hope fixes will be there. We got a minute 45 left until the computer blows up. So, all right, Denver, New England, Seahawks, Rams, Conference Championship weekend coming soon. We're going to clip this up. We're going to come back next Monday, recap that. Then we'll do some Super Bowl stuff. So in like 2 weeks, we'll get into college basketball. Try to get Ed back on here more. Um, he brings some good value, I guess. So, all right, Edison Neubert, I appreciate your time. Episode 70 of Have Good Sporting in the books. Like it, subscribe it. I'm sure no one's made it this far, but if they have, we appreciate you guys. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know something. Interact. Let's do it. Let's make this the most interactive show in the world. All right, Ed, I appreciate you. And if you're watching, I love you. Bye.